Academy Stadium for this, arguably the biggest game of this WSL weekend. It is Manchester City versus Arsenal, 4th against 2nd as the table sat coming into this one. The Gunners looking to avoid back-to-back WSL away losses for the first time ever after that 1-0 loss against the Red Devils on the red side of Manchester last time out on the road. Today they're here on the light blue side of things to face up to a Manchester City side who haven't lost in their last 25 home WSL games. I'm Michael McCann, your commentator, and wherever you are across the globe, we're very excited to be bringing you this game. City in those white tracksuits, which will come to reveal that home kit of the light blue shirts, white shorts and light blue socks. Arsenal, meanwhile, in their change strip with those dark red shorts, the white socks and the white shorts. As for Manchester City, 2 changes from the side that had a very successful 2-1 win at Göteborg in Europe in midweek. Demi Stokes and Lauren Hemp both back from injury. They come in for Esme Morgan and Janine Becky. Hemp makes just her 2nd WSL start of the season. A lot of faith being put in her as Ellen White is left on the bench. As for Arsenal, they're unchanged from the side that won 3-0 at home against Birmingham City last Sunday. Katie McCabe, the Irish fullback, makes her 100th appearance for the Gunners. Meanwhile, Jen Beattie, one to keep an eye on after a week of all weeks for her, after very bravely telling the world about her battle with cancer. Nice to see both teams wearing shirts with number 5 Beattie on the back in the warm-up, which will be auctioned off for charity. So, kick-off just moments away. And coming into this one, Arsenal with 19 points from 8 games, 4 points ahead of Manchester City in the standings. The Citizens have 15 points from their 8 games so far. Built primarily off this very impressive home record that stretches back a long old way. 20 wins and 5 draws in their last 25 WSL matches here. It really is dictionary definition of a fortress. Normally they can count on supporters being in to cheer them on as well. Great to see the Rainbow Laces out in force. Of course, this is the 2nd of 2 weekends for Rainbow Laces. This great game is for one and all of us to enjoy, regardless of your identity in any way, shape or form. Joe Montemurro all wrapped up warm on the touchline, as he should be. It's a bitterly cold day up here in the north of England. Not raining yet, thankfully, though, and the pitch is in exemplary condition, which means that regardless of conditions, should facilitate the excellent passing football that both of these teams like to play. Moment to reinforce that message, this time through Black Lives Matter, that this great game is very much for all of us to enjoy. So off and running, Manchester City against Arsenal, 4th versus 2nd. City attacking from left to right in that light blue and white kit in this first half. The Gunners in their dark red and white, shooting from right to left. Set yourselves in for what should be an absolute belter, folks. Arsenal coming into this one 4 points ahead of City in the standings, but both teams will be aware of the disappointing fact from each of their perspectives that Manchester United have managed to win 2-1 at Reading. United, led through Leah Galton, were pegged back just after half-time when Millie Turner scored an own goal, but an 83rd minute winner from Hayley Ladd means that the Red Devils got all 3 points. The ball in behind. McCabe on her 100th appearance for the Gunners. Not a bad cross. Nobody was at the back post, though. That will run all the way through out for a goal kick. So we make it both teams will be in a 4-3-3 system. Ellie Roebuck in goal for City. A back four from right to left of Lucy Bronze, Steph Horton, Alex Greenwood and Demi Stokes. Midfield 3 of Kira Walsh, Sam Maris and Caroline Weir. And up front, Chloe Kelly, Georgia Stanway and Lauren Hemp. As for the Gunners, similarly expected to be in a 4-3-3. From these early moments, that looks like it That's what it will be as Lydia Williams gets her first touch and goal. Back four from right to left of Leonie Meyer, Leah Williamson, Jem Beattie and Katie McCabe. And then a midfield three of Malin Goot, Kim Little and Jill Rord as here come the Gunners. In just the second minute, crucial interception from Stokes. And now City can counter-attack. Little ball in behind from Williamson gets Arsenal going again though. McCabe has space once again, looks inside Miedemar. An unusually poor touch for Vivianne Miedemar, who needs no introduction to women's football fans across the globe. WSL's all-time top scorer. Had she taken that cleanly, could have got an early sighter. She's got it back though. Miedemar! Oh, they've scored! She takes the second chance, and in just the third minute, Arsenal lead. Vivianne Miedemar's 11th of the season. The WSL's all-time top scorer on target early. The high press working well for the Gunners. The loose pass pounced upon, and the finish was just delightful. Given away by Kira Walsh, and you don't give Vivianne Miedemar a second chance.
One line! Leo, Kim, yep!
So, Arsenal have the lead with just 3 minutes gone when the ball went in the net. Vivianne Miedemar with the goal. I was just mentioning, it was almost as if to tempt fate. And she'd miscontrolled that first touch where she maybe had a chance to get a shot away in the penalty area. Just moments later, Manchester City made the mistake of handing one of the world's very best another chance. Ford. Stokes looks back, Greenwood struggling to play their way out from the back here, Manchester City.
Opposite, good Malin, good.
Greenwood. Now Stokes. The ball inside. Just want to try and settle themselves down here, Manchester City. Bronze. Inside, gets her first touch of the ball. Now that goal was so quick I hadn't actually around to telling you Arsenal's front three, but you will have gathered Vivianne Miedemar's playing, of course, Caitlin Ford and Beth Mead alongside her up top. City's first foray forward of any significance, but Williams will clear. Little. Leah Williamson has talked in the build-up to this one about being best mates with Manchester City midfielder Kira Walsh and a slight strangeness of when they play each other. It's a week where they maybe don't speak quite as much as they normally would, but after the game, normal friendships are resumed. City go short from the goal kick, as the recent law changes allow them to do. Forward by Greenwood. Stokes. Greenwood again. Got to find a quick response here after that early strike from Vivianne Miedemar. Bronze. You see Bronze going a long way around from right back, trying to cause some problems for this Arsenal defence. Here comes Stokes. Hemp runs into trouble and concedes the free kick, fouling Mayer. And Hemp making just her second WSL appearance of the season. It's a big call to play her ahead of Ellen White that surprised some. Showed the faith put in her by City boss Gareth Taylor. He said before this one, we're in amongst the title race, we want momentum, and that there's 3 games for them before Christmas. Obviously not the desired start in any way, shape or form. Got that second leg against Gothenburg in the round of 32 here on Tuesday. And then next Sunday they have Birmingham City away before the Christmas break. Kelly. Chance to run, just lost her footing for a second. Still going, Kelly. Oh, good skills from Chloe Kelly. Decent cross as well. Kept alive. Interception by Roord. Then herself runs into trouble. Norris. Oh, that's wide. Not able to test Lydia Williams in the Arsenal goal. City's first shot of any significance. Was initially intercepted by Jill Roord. Ran into heavy traffic. Drilled shot wide. Arsenal went short from the goal kick. Arsenal know, of course, that victory in this game will close that gap back up to just 1 point behind league leaders Manchester United, who've really shaken up the top of things in the WSL this season after being newly promoted last season and stabilising themselves in the WSL, staying up comfortably. They've now made a real leap forward, and it's very clear that it's going to be at least a 4-way, if not a 5-way fight for those top 3 Champions League spots between Manchester United, the so-called old-school big 3 of these 2 teams, and Chelsea, and then also Everton as well, who currently sit in 5th coming into this weekend. Bronze. Going the long way around. One of her trademark runs forward. Decent cross. Williamson was there. Arsenal do just enough. City growing in confidence, but here comes Miedemar on the counter-attack. Might not need anybody else. That's a very good tackle. Alex Greenwood removing the danger. Miedemar eyeing a second goal within the opening 10 minutes. Wherever you are across the globe, if you are just joining us late, you've already missed a goal. And Miedemar scoring in just the 3rd minute and pouncing on a loose pass from Kira Walsh on the edge of her box. She'd already nearly got in once, and then City made the mistake of giving her a second chance. Back with Williams, he looks right. Williamson. Beattie. McCabe. Roord forced back by aggressive pressing from Kira Walsh. Now here comes City. Hem. Just couldn't find the ball inside that she wanted. Arsenal content to try and play out from the back. There's no shortage of light blue shirts up there to meet them. McCabe. Ford gets a touch lucky. Keats. Now wide, a bit of space to be roamed into. Ball down the line for Miedemar. Miedemar will get there. kept it in play but couldn't keep it away from Demi Stokes. Patient build-up this from the Gunners. So they chase a second goal. Maya twisting and turning, and well marshalled. First corner of the game, and it will be to the away side. Beth Mead over the corner. Mead hangs it up, only half away, falls for Beattie. Needs a bit of support, the defender. He's done really well. Eventually is dispossessed. Didn't really have a white shirt anywhere near her. Crossfield from Williamson, great vision. Picks out McCabe, who's always offering an outlet down this left-hand side, and Manchester City haven't really managed to pick her up. That time she's offside. Decision given by assistant referee Emily Carney. Your other assistant today is Kerry Williams. The referee is Emily Heaslip.
Good, Malin, okay, good. Don't be too narrow, but possession, don't be too narrow.
Stokes. It's fallen kindly for City here through Stanway, who we haven't seen much of so far. And she wasn't fouled there. In fact, the decision goes the other way. Stanway was certain that she was the one that had in fact been fouled. Well, she just overran the ball. Can have a few complaints about that decision. So 14 minutes gone. Still the Gunners with that lead, thanks to that goal from Miedemar. That proud City home record is very much under threat. Not just unbeaten here under new boss Gareth Taylor, but a long way further back than that. It would be first home loss in the league in 26 games. But it's far too early to be thinking this one's done and dusted. Plenty of goals probably left in this game, given the sheer volume of attacking talent both sides have on this pitch. Not just on this pitch, on the bench as well. On that note, we should quickly run you through the benches for Manchester City. The two keepers, Karen Bardsley and Karima Tayeb. No, Bardsley, pardon me. And then Gemma Bonner, Laura Coombs, Jill Scott, Janine Becky, Esme Morgan, Jess Park and Ellen Wright. So Wright and Becky, the two obvious attacking changes. Arsenal name only 6 substitutes by contrast, the two keepers. Manuela Zinsberger and Fran Stenson. Then 4 outfield players, Danielle van der Donk, Lisa Evans, Jordan Nobbs and Steph Cately. Too much on that crossfield ball, trying to get Chloe Kelly into the game. McCabe just waiting to get the ball back. No supporters in for this one today. In the UK at the moment, whether fans can be in somewhat dependent on what part of the country the match is going on in, as well as other restrictions depending on the exact event. Horton's header doesn't properly clear it. Now Bronze, invited to run and doesn't need a second invitation. Kelly, this is where City are so dangerous. Bronze, playing advantage City. Kelly. Arsenal just had a few more seconds there to get some bodies back behind the ball. They were caught for a second, a bit more settled in their shape now, headed away by McCabe. To Lucy Bronze, who's setting the build-up to this one that she one day wants to coach England. Enjoys being captain because she likes to tell people to get over there, get in with me. She enjoys that responsibility. Decent ball in, nicely taken down and over the bar. A good little run from Caroline Weir, who got 3 assists last weekend against Everton. This time trying to score the equaliser. just drifted in that pocket of space that had opened up. A really nice take, but then the volley was skywards. Just couldn't get her body over it. A really tough technique. Quite an awkward height. Those 3 assists I mentioned was actually the first time any WSL player had done that since a certain Vivianne Miedema in that extraordinary performance when they beat Bristol City 12-0 last season. Arsenal. Charged down by Sam Mewis. Aggressive press again on here from City. It works in so much as they stop Arsenal playing out from the back, and Arsenal have got to be careful because on both those occasions, had the bounce of the ball not been so kind to them, they could have found themselves in real trouble. This was the first one. Beattie closed down by Mewis. Now Beattie. Well, again, they're going to try and play out from the back. Now all the way back with Ellie Roebuck.
Step closer, yes, Chloe in. Chloe in, Chloe in.
Walton forward. Bronze. Mewis. Greenwood, wide. Space for Stokes. Do like to work the channels, City. That's where all of their goals come from. Get those 2 fullbacks, Stokes and Bronze, overlapping. Greenwood. Greenwood forward. Williamson goes safety first. Manchester City making 5 changes from the side that won 3-0 at Everton last Sunday. Greenwood, Mewis, and then the 3 forwards, Kelly, Hemp and Stanway all coming in. Bonner, Scott, and then the 3 strikers, Lavelle, White and Becky. Strikers come forwards, come attacking midfielders, depending on your interpretation of the system, all dropping out. Weir, who's drifted into a bit of space. That's a great cross. McCabe does just enough. Light blue shirts were starting to bear down. Here's Kelly. Kelly loses out to McCabe. Was she fouled? Yes, she was. Katie McCabe relieving the pressure and so far winning that individual battle with Chloe Kelly. Out on the Manchester City right and the Arsenal left. Kelly, who had the vast majority of her success at Everton last season, playing on the inside left where she could cut inside onto her preferred right foot. It's been a change of role for her since joining Manchester City. She's been predominantly used down the right wing, so her stronger foot has been around the outside. It's been something she's had to positionally adjust to. Has already scored 4 goals for all the citizens in the WSL, 2 of them from the penalty spot.
Go again, go again, go again. Not inside, Jill. Not inside.
Walsh forward, loose pass. Collected by Beattie. Now Little. Little again. McCabe has found a lot of space out on this near side. It was a good cross. Just too much on it maybe for Miedema. Again, Arsenal set up to press high. Goal from that woman in your picture there, Vivianne Miedema, that separates the teams. Here it is. Kira Walsh just giving the ball away. 1 touch to control and 1 to finish. Clinical, and you'd expect nothing less of Vivianne Miedema.
Okay, punish him now, punish him.
Here comes City, Stanway. Lost her footing at the crucial moment. Arsenal certainly looked the more confident side so far on the ball. real chance either side have had on goal was that Miedemar one, which she created for herself and scored brilliantly. Knocked on in midfield by Mewis. City keep the ball, but again they've got to find their way through. Arsenal won't mind them having it in their own half. Foul by Mewis. A name that will need no introduction, particularly for our viewers from the United States. Of course, part of that US women's national team that won the World Cup. It's a big moment for her in particular, having had the frustration of not making the 2016 Olympic team. McCabe does well to keep it alive. She's hustled out of it. And with Arsenal's left back out of position, Manchester City might eye a quick counter. Kelly. Well, that was good defence from Beth Mead. Herring back just to stop that counter-attack, and although City got the throw-in, just meant that Arsenal had a bit more time to reset that defence as we reach the midway point of this first half. That Miedemar goal was still the difference. Wherever you're watching us across the globe, whether you're on Sportsnet in Canada, Spark Sport in New Zealand, Optus in Australia having a bit of a late night, or on the FA Player, or whether you're up in the Nordic countries watching on V-Sport in Norway or Sweden, or on Atta Football in the USA, having an early morning. It's great to have you with us for this one, which has certainly not disappointed so far. As that is something of the kind of clearance you almost see in rugby union, where a side are aiming to get as far up the pitch as possible. Gareth Taylor in charge at Manchester City, man who played for their men's team when Manchester City, as an entire football club, were a very different entity to what they are now. Had 2 seasons at City from 1998 through to 2000, scoring 9 goals in 48 games. Part of the side that promoted from the 3rd tier in 1999 via the playoffs, and then promoted from the 2nd tier after finishing 2nd in what is now the Championship in the 99-2000 season for the men's team. He's been head coach of the women's team since the start of this season. Came in late May, Gareth Taylor. High expectations here, of course. I mentioned earlier the fact that there's a real fight for those Champions League spots.
Not too deep, because there's space to play in between.
You hear Joe Montemuro urging his players to get up. Doesn't want them to sit deep, because then it leaves space for City to play in between the lines. But City have broken the press really well. And here they come now. Slaloming their way through, but Arsenal win it back and immediately give it away. Mewis. Chance to shoot. Too much on it, too much elevation from Lauren Hemp. They're unable to really test Lydia Williams in the Gunners' goal. Really good initial carry forward, unselfish from Samantha Mewis, who found the space and the chance for Hemp. Well, they've gone short on every single goal kick today. They don't really change that pattern here as Williams finds McCabe. City again aggressively pressing high up the pitch, and that's part of what has made this game such a fascinating watch. Both teams willing to risk being caught out, pressing very high up the pitch, nobody parking the bus, quite the opposite. Williams. BT. Williamson. Little ball down the line, but the flick doesn't quite work. Greenwood. City get the throw, which Demi Stokes will take. Stokes back in the team today in place of Esme Morgan returning from injury. Treatment table still not completely empty though at Manchester City, with the star from the United States, Rose Lavelle, missing after taking a slight knock in the Everton game last week, which was only the 25-year-old's second start. He's had a couple of injury problems since joining City. Round the outside goes Mead. Needs support. And well shepherded by Demi Stokes. Beth Mead, who first made her name through being a regular scorer for Sunderland in the WSL, but very much an Arsenal player now. Bronze. Given room. It's not something you want to do as an opposition defence against Lucy Bronze. Now Kelly gets involved. Mewis. Walsh. Stokes. City growing in confidence here. Hemp. Decent ball in. Only half away. Stokes once more. Weir. Stokes. Low cross. Stanway trying to work a shooting opportunity. Ever so patient here, Manchester City. Kelly. Kelly trying to find a way through. Little dinked ball. Oh, and nearly an own goal. Kim Little gets it away for a corner. Well, if they'd have scored, this would have been one of those goals where we'd have to watch it back to count the number of passes. It just kept going on and on and on. Really good, patient build-up, trying to find a way through this Arsenal defence that had ended up sitting ever so deep. And they're rewarded with this corner. Chloe Kelly will take it, right-footed in swinging from the far side. Seven Manchester City players trying to cause mischief in that 6-yard box. Kelly hangs the corner up, not cleared and in! They've got the equaliser. A third WSL goal of the season for Sam Mewis. And with the half-hour mark approaching, Manchester City level from the set piece. The corner just ballooned in the air. Lydia Williams came out, didn't claim it. And Mewis got a good downward header on it. And over the player, guarding the line. And it's Manchester City 1, Arsenal run. So City back on level terms. And was that a foul on Stanway? It certainly was. Jen Beattie could be a touch lucky to not go in the book here as well, the Scot, for this. It was late. Stanway was trying to launch a counter-attack. By the looks of that, she is going to be booked by referee Amy Heaslip. So Jennifer Beattie picks up the first yellow card of this game. Scott, who of course has been very much in the media in the build-up to this one for bravely telling her story. Expect to start radiotherapy in the coming weeks for breast cancer. She's been talking about how early detection can help save lives. Now Sam Mewis is down for Manchester City. And Arsenal have got Malin Gut down as well. Might be a period of treatment here for both teams. We can have another look at that equaliser. You can see Williams, the Arsenal keeper, just got herself caught in behind both one of her own defenders and Mewis. Mewis could just nod it in over the head of Miedemar, who was completely stranded on the line. Certainly not Miedemar's fault. Could just
readjust on this now.
stand there helpless as the ball bounced over her head. Would have only been able to keep that out with some handball on the line antics, which, given that would have yielded a red card and a penalty, would have been of very questionable value indeed.
Shoulder Kane, McKay. Take them forward, yep. Lock yourself. Yeah. Good, here, Chloe.
Bronze down the line. Kelly. An easy run from Chloe Kelly. That's what she can do when she gets going. Kelly on her left. Not properly cleared, and it nearly fell to Stanway or Hemp. Williams would have been grateful to gather. Of course, right now, the team that this result would suit most, more than either of these two, is the league leaders Manchester United. With the fight for those top 3 Champions League spots, they'll be quite happy with 2 points coming out of this game, 1 for either side, as opposed to either team picking up 3. Of course, Chelsea right in the mix as well. This game, of course, the last of the 6 matches today in terms of kick-off times. Chelsea currently 1-0 up at half-time against Brighton. Sam Kerr with yet another goal, the 7th of the season, joining Jill Roord on 7 WSL goals this season, but we've got a lot of work to do to get anywhere near Vivianne Miedemar, who, of course, earlier in this game scored her 11th. 3 other games ongoing too. West Ham 1-0 up at Bristol City. Tottenham 2-1 up at half-time against Aston Villa. And then Birmingham versus Everton unfortunately postponed. Here goes Miedemar. She's got space, but she is isolated. Tackled well by Lucy Bronze. Eventually Roebuck can gather. Ellie Roebuck, who's said recently that she's targeting the quadruple with Manchester City this season: the Champions League, the Conti Cup, the WSL and the FA Cup, as well as Olympic gold in the summer, and then winning the Euros with England next summer, as well as claiming that England #1 spot. Certainly not short of ambition, the 21-year-old, who's had a remarkable rise, taking the Manchester City #1 spot off Karen Bardsley. As Georgia Stanway is down. And it's limping, which is concerning, particularly for any Manchester City fans watching. Never mind any neutrals, because we want to see our best players on the pitch. Just a coming together with Williamson. Don't think there was anything malicious in it. Just fell a bit awkwardly, Stanway. Back with Roebuck to Horton. Those two have both started every game this season for Manchester City in the WSL. Kira Walsh, the 3rd player to have done so. Greenwood's lost the ball in a bad area. It's a 4-on-4 if Arsenal can take this quickly. Good ball through, just too much on it for Miedemar. Mead and Miedemar were on the same wavelength here. Mead just trying to slide it through to that far post. Clearly onside as well, Miedemar. Couldn't quite get there. That's a real let-off for Manchester City. Lucy Bronze. Inside for Horton. Now Greenwood. Kelly nicks the ball off McCabe, who recovers well. City won the last time these two met, a 2-1 victory here at the Academy Stadium. Early October. The Women's FA Cup semi-final was for the FA Cup from last season, if that makes sense. The knockout stages were never played due to football being stopped because of the coronavirus pandemic, so effectively 2 FA Cups to be won in one season. Now we're back underway, and City won the first of those 2 FA Cups. They won that semi-final here with Steph Horton and Sam Mewis on the score sheet. After Jordan Nobbs had levelled with a long-range stunner for Arsenal. And then they went on to win that final 3-1 at Wembley after extra time against Everton. Mewis, Stanway and Becky all on the score sheet on the 1st of November to give new boss Gareth Taylor his first trophy. As the gains suddenly started pouring down here in Manchester. Will make the ball really zip across this pitch. It was already having the ball go across it pretty quickly anyway. It's in very good condition. Maya did keep the ball in play. Leonie Maya. So Stanway able to stop her. Horton. Niedermar pressing. Got to be careful here, Manchester City. They've been caught out a couple of times already. Roebuck eventually goes longer, but only gives it straight to McCabe.
Just get some cover here. Just get some cover here.
McCabe gives it away now. Maybe City can counter. Kelly has Bronze on the overlap. Goes on the inside. Kelly still going. Kelly has a go. And wild and wide in the end from Chloe Kelly.
Well done, Katie. Unlucky. All right.
We've seen her score some goals from similar distances to this. Only last season against Bristol City, she scored 2 absolute worldies within about 5 minutes of each other that I had the pleasure of commentating on. That was one of the first games where Chloe Kelly really announced herself as a player of the highest quality in the WSL, and last season never really looked back. It was form like that that eventually led to Manchester City taking her off Everton's hands. Stokes looks back.
Go again!
Runs inside.
With a blitz!
Foul by Mead. Half time not too far away here. Mewis, who scored that equaliser. Kelly, back for Mewis, good link-up play. Mewis looked inside. Gets the block in, was that a handball? Looked to be, and is given as such by referee Heaslip.
Outside of body.
You can hear Manchester City head coach Gareth Taylor arguing that hand was not outside of her body. That is one thing that, of course, has changed due to fans not being able to attend the games. As much as we'd love to have you back, one tiny silver lining has been that our effects marks have been able to pick up a bit more of what's being said on the touchline by both bosses. Weir. Kelly has Bronze on the overlap. Seemed to lose her footing, but sets it back. Mewis. Walsh. Now Bronze. Lucy Bronze, who's recently been nominated as one of 3 players for the Best FIFA Women's Player of 2020. Kelly, back for Bronze. Bronze makes room. Still going, good skills. Needs support. Gets it back to Kelly. She did keep the ball in play. Cross only half cleared. Now Arsenal eyeing something on the counter. Ford is pushed back though. Has to find Beattie. Whacks it into touch under a bit of pressure. Lucy Bronze showing her class again with that run forward. Just couldn't quite find the end product. The other two players up for that FIFA Women's Player of 2020 award. Wendy Renard plays her club football with Lyon, the French international, and then Pernille Harder, a Danish international who signed for Chelsea at the start of this season. Goots clips it forward, but far too much on that. Mewis. Neat touch from Greenwood, gets her away from Miedema. Grant. Links up with Kelly. Forced all the way back to Roebuck though. Lee Roebuck, who won the WSL's first ever Golden Glove award. That's Horton forward. Struggling to break this Arsenal high press. Plenty of white shirts in the Manchester City half. Greenwood. Horton cross-field, that's a brilliant ball. Suddenly got City in behind. Pullback only finds Kim Little though. Little just has to hammer it into touch. City growing in momentum. One of the two teams, they'll be the one that doesn't really want that half-time whistle to come yet. Got a bit more time. Cross half away by Beattie. Kelly can't bring it down. Kelly wins it back though. From Ford. Now Beattie again. Ford loses it. Gets lucky to get it back there. Dawdled on the ball on the edge of her own box. Instead she finds Miedema. Has Rord and Mead in the box. Might go it alone here, Miedema. Just overruns it. Good interception by Stokes. He needed to cover there. Had too many delays, a couple of short injury delays, so I only imagine there'll be maybe a maximum of a couple of minutes added on at the end of this first half. There we go, 2 minutes added on. It's a minimum, of course. It's all at the discretion of referee Emily Heaslip. Stokes into added time at the end of this first half. City looking to defend this proud home record. They were behind, but Sam Mewis has got them back level. And now here goes Mewis again. Around that outside. Away by Williamson. Kelly. Kelly twisting and turning. And straight at Williams in the end.
Good, Katie McCabe, well done.
Reasonably well shepherded by Katie McCabe. You might have heard Joe Montemurro giving encouragement to McCabe, who's probably got the better of that duel of trying to keep Chloe Kelly quiet in this first half. Will be one to keep an eye on whether they maybe switch flanks with her at some point. She's tended to prefer playing down the inside left channel, cutting onto her right foot previously. It has been used by City more in a right wing capacity. Mewis runs forward. Kelly loses out. Good interception. And then work by Gut to keep the ball for Arsenal. Might just have one chance here. Nope, they won't. That will be that. Half-time whistle goes. An entertaining first half here between two teams who promised us entertainment and action given the sheer amount of quality they've got on the pitch between them. Vivianne Miedemar gave Arsenal the lead in just the 3rd minute of her 11th goal of the season after winning the ball off Kira Walsh. And Manchester City equalised on the half-hour mark when Sam Mewis headed in Chloe Kelly's corner. It means that at the break here at the Academy Stadium in 4th versus 2nd, it's Manchester City 1, Arsenal 1.